Coach, obviously they're a team with a lot of experience in these type of games, but what did you see as the difference down the stretch and in overtime?
Obviously give them a ton of credit. Like you said, they're a team that is experienced, and they've seen this situation a bunch of times. I thought our guys did a great job of battling, attacking the basket the right way, even on that last play. I think those are situations that our guys are strong enough to attack the rim, rebounded it. But again, I'll have to go back and look at it in that situation. Just
against these playoff contending physical teams, just how thin is the margin of error against these type of teams in these type of games, and how valuable is it for your young group to experience this type
These are extremely valuable lessons for our guys to go into these situations. Obviously, walking into overtime here, understanding that, making sure that we have to do the little things. And our guys, stayed locked in for the most part, and stayed the course regardless of what was happening in game and how physical it was on both sides of the ball. But we did a great job of keeping our poise for the most part, and then attacking the basket like we should have down the stretch. We got the looks that we wanted.
Jamal, it seemed like some guys are getting frustrated by some of the calls or non-calls that are made, down the stretch in the fourth and overtime. Just what's the message to the guys in those moments?
In those situations, it's very hard to protect them. I mean, you watched what happened. And so I'm just telling our guys to stay the course, stay poised. Obviously we have to earn some of those as we get older, and we get the respect in the ways that we should. We'll have to continue to fight through those situations.
How hard is it sometimes to deliver that message when they may not feel like they're giving that respect? They're players just like anyone else.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of the growth of learning and seeing exactly how games are going to be looked at and called. So you have to know right from there that you just have to put your head down, stay the course, come together as a team, and continue to fight and scrap and attack the basket the same exact way that you did all game long. And obviously there's going to come a time where you earn those.
Hey, Jamal, you guys were up 12 with 9:56 remaining in the final quarter. What was your thought process out of that timeout to not insert your starting lineup back in until the 3:20 marker?
Well, that group had a great momentum going, and so it didn't want to take away from what they were doing with the momentum. And obviously they made some crucial shots there, but I thought the momentum was in our favor, how we were going. So they called the timeout and not necessarily bring our subs back for the momentum swing that was on our side.
Coach, in the first half, they didn't hit as many shots as they did in the second half. Fourth quarter, would you say is defensive let-up, or how would you rate the defense there late in the game?
I think, obviously, they made shots down the stretch, some of those same looks that they were getting. I'll have to go back and look at the film, but I really believe that, we were trying to do a good job of communicating with one another. They hit some tough ones. I think they were at the end of shot clocks in a lot of them, and some of those were tough floaters coming down the lane. And I think, trying to take away the three was the #1 priority, and then they got into the lane a little bit more.
Go ahead, Dave. Coach, did you consider using Suggs in overtime?
I have to go back, look back and see exactly what the right time was to get him in the game. But I think, Gary was defending Hero decently well. So I thought those were situations that I'll have to look back and see how we may have to look at that in those minutes.
Thank you, Coach Mose.
Thank you, guys.
Markelle, obviously they're a team with a lot of experience in these type of physical close games down the stretch. What did you see as the difference late in the fourth quarter and in overtime in this one?
We had a couple laps on the defensive end. I think we had a couple fouls. I got to go back and watch specifically, but I definitely think we had a couple laps on both ends of the floor. But I think offensively, too, as well, we started to slow down a little bit and not play our style of basketball, just playing with pace and moving it side to side. We kind of let it stick a little bit. Missed a couple easy ones, but yeah, I just think that, they turned up the heat and they got a couple calls to go their way as well, but it was a combination of, multiple things.
We talked about this after the Knicks game, but in these, physical games against playoff contending teams, just how thin is the margin of error, and how valuable are these type of games for your young group?
It's huge. Every game is a learning experience and an opportunity for us to show ourselves and learn how to get better and better chemistry and learn how to win a basketball game. And tonight we had another chance to play a playoff-like basketball game where it's going to be physical and it comes down to the wire. So, again, just giving guys the experience of learning, although it wasn't the playoffs, this is how, the playoffs is going to be. And it's going to come down to every possession. It's not just in the last 5 minutes, but it's, possession throughout the whole game and understanding that, every little thing matters. So, I think, again, this is going to be a huge learning experience. Everybody's kind of upset that we didn't, pull this one out, especially with the lead that we had. But can't hang our heads too bad. Got to watch film and try to get better.
It seemed like, guys were starting to get frustrated with some of the calls or lack of calls down the stretches. What are you telling guys in those moments? And I guess what's the importance of keeping the composure in those moments, even though things may not be going your way?
It's huge, man. I think that, we keep preaching to each other, man. We're not really going to get that many calls. That's how we got to think, it's unfortunate, it's a lot of emotion out there, especially when you're playing extremely hard and you feel like you're not getting the same calls that other teams are getting. But, again, they're human. So we got to control what we can control and keep pushing. So that's something that, we got to get better at as well, just yelling at the refs and trying to get calls. But, it's part of the game. But, again, that's something that we got to really lock into and try to just pull each other, together in those moments and stick together.
Markelle, before tonight, your last three-point made field goal came against the Washington Wizards on January 21st. How important is it for you to infiltrate a three-point shot for your offensive scheme?
That's part of my game. Of course, I'm not, going out there just trying to force up threes. I'm a basketball player, so I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make the team win. If I feel comfortable or if I feel like I have a chance to shoot a three, then I'm going to shoot it. But there's plenty of ways to be dominant on the floor, on both ends of the floor, and that's more so what I'm worried about. That's something that I obviously continue to work on every day, as long as with other things in my game. But I'm just out there playing as hard as I can, trying to do whatever I can to help the team win. So that's all that matters to me.
Jalen, your second unit, has made an impact on a number of games lately. How much pride do you guys take in the ability to swing open a game and impact it, especially defensively?
I think we just come in and try to play hard, and just take on the challenge of being much better than other team's second unit, or a tired first unit, and continue to come in and do our job. And, I think that just comes down to being a good teammate is, coming off the bench and, playing hard, doing the little things, playing together, giving our guys a blow, start the game off, and, try to give them some cushion for when they come back in the game. So, I think it's just something that, all of us, we have a great chemistry together, and, it shows when we play, the ball pops, we help each other on defense and fly around. So, I think just taking pride in doing our job, really.
Jalen, you've gotten to a solid offensive rhythm over the last few games. I think scoring double figures, 5 of your last 7. Just what are you seeing out there that's allowed that?
I think just being me, to be honest. Not overthinking the game. Taking what comes, whether it's in transition, 10 pick and roll, cutting, slashing, knocking down shots. Just all things that I work on every day, and I think, if I can trust that, which I haven't in the past, which is frustrating, but, things like that happen. But, if I trust that work that I put in every day, I feel like I can, help the team in a multitude of ways, whether it's on the offensive end, defensive end, kind of wherever we need it that night, to have a big impact there. So, I think it's just, being me and, playing off the confidence, that the rest of the guys have in me.
Markelle, this one's for both of you guys. The team seems a little bit more visibly frustrated after this loss than a normal loss. Can you talk to why that might be and just kind of what your thought process is after a tough loss like that?
We want to win, man. Especially, we remember, all the games that we played. We went down to Miami, kind of had the similar situation happen. So it's kind of frustrating when, we understand what we need to do to win, and, we keep making kind of some of the same mistakes and different mistakes, and, you come up short. And I think it's just the passion that we have in the game and how bad we want to win and how bad we want to be successful. But at the same time, it's just sometimes we got to control that. But I think tonight, you're just seeing the passion of, frustration of everything, the way we played, the mistakes that we made, the way we felt like, the game was gone and how we, fumbled the game in certain situations. And, we give Miami credit, don't get me wrong. They play hard and started to pick it up. But we definitely felt like it was things that we could control that we didn't do tonight.
I agree. I think just, I think we all work so hard and, we always preach about, how much work we put in and, how much confidence we have in each other and, how cohesive and together we are as a unit, and when you come out and you don't get the results that you all hope for and you all strive for, it's definitely frustrating, especially, like Kel said, given that we've been in this exact same situation with this exact same team a couple weeks ago. So, just to fall short on that again, and a team that's in our home state, and a team that is gritty and tough and talks trash. You want to answer that back, and you want to escape those games with wins. And really just prove ourselves. I think we all feel how close we are, and realistically that we're in the picture of everything, but we need ones like this, to start going in our favor, and and close these games out. So I think just falling short of that, is just kind of feel like we're letting ourselves down.
Jalen, career night for you defensively, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Could have had a couple more if a couple bounces went a different way.
Yeah,
do you think that there is, you've talked a little bit in the past about how your defensive game, you're priding yourself on the defensive end. Was there a moment, do you think, that your game has taken a step forward in the last couple of weeks? Was there an epiphany where you found yourself, oh, this is it, this is how I unlock that next step?
I think it came when I was just getting back from injury, and trying to balance the minute restriction, and how do I still continue to come in, and I've been out for a while, and how do I fit back in with the team, and we've been rolling, we had a good rhythm, so how do I come in and not interrupt that? I think the easiest way initially was just to play defense, and just give everything I have on that end, and the offense, just let it come back and flow to me. That I think if you force that, one, it would have looked bad on my part, but two, I didn't want to mess up with it. We are going as a team because we've been playing well on that end. So it was really just, a complete shift in focus to there, and, understanding, how much of an impact I can have on that end, and, how much I haven't. I wish I had given more to it on that end in the past, and just completely buying into that, and it felt good, knowing all the guys are, coming back to me after, timeouts and after stops and steals, and, give me a high five, tell me keep going, like we need that. I think that just continues to fuel it. So, I think just, trying to help our team in any way I can, and the defense, has been it. So, continuing to carry that. But yeah, tonight it looks good on paper, but it was a lot of lapses and a lot of things to clean up. So, yeah.